So, it looks like Hideo Kojima and his production team have left Konami and are being hired by them now just as contractors to finish the Phantom Pain. So with the creator of the franchise separating from the guys who own the IP, the question is, will there be no more Metal Gear? Hideo Kojima is Metal Gear Solid. If life imitates art, then Kojima would wear an eye patch and fourth wall breaking bandanas.
Infinite ammo.
The initial idea of this ultra-complex grand narrative was his. He wrote the scripts for every single game, right from the original MSX2 title. And he has himself become part of the reason the game has developed such a cult following. With his weird answers to interview questions, questionable ideas on female objectivism, and demand for the ultimate cinematic gaming experiences. Look, Kojima, it worked for the first Metal Gear Solid with the new 3D graphics of the PlayStation. But 13 hours of cutscenes in Guns of the Patriots? I mean, I haven't spent that long staring vaguely into the middle distance since I tried to work out how Keanu Reeves got famous. But he's just so bad. But according to reports, tensions have been mounting between Kojima and the company responsible for publishing the franchise, Konami. Apparently a power struggle has emerged over the IP, and it all seems to have come to a head at the worst possible time, just as Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, is in its final stages of production. Or you could argue that with all this publicity that this was the perfect time for this to be revealed. You know, if you're cynical. According to an inside source at Konami, talking to GameSpot, after we finish MGS5, Mr. Kojima and upper management will leave Konami. They said their contract ends in December. Now this is obviously not good news. Power struggles between creator and publisher do happen, but so rarely is a creator such a public personality as Hideo Kojima is. The biggest question, of course, is what does the future hold for the Metal Gear series? Well, fortunately, Phantom Pain will still be happening. Konami released a statement saying, the latest title in the Metal Gear series, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, will be released as planned, adding, Hideo Kojima stated, I want to reassure fans that I am 100% involved and will continue working on Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. I'm determined to make sure it's the greatest game I've directed to date. So we will all be seeing it in September, and you can be sure Kojima will make it a last hurrah for his involvement in the series. If Ground Zeroes was anything to go by, we can be sure of a great experience, just hopefully one with more content than a glorified demo. But after that, well, that's much less certain. The good news is we are at least going to see one more Metal Gear game after that. Konami recently posted on their website that they were hiring for a new Metal Gear title, most likely to be a second Revengeance game if this screen grab from a Sony presentation at the Taipei Game Show is anything to go by. Okay, so it's not part of the grand, bombastic main Metal Gear narrative, but the first game was pretty good, and it at least seems to indicate Konami aren't just going to bury the series for good. But without Kojima to drive the narrative and creative development, the incredible experiences we've had in previous games may be cast to memory. Now what this all reminds me of is the closing down of Irrational Games by Ken Levine, creators of the awe-inspiring Bioshock series, among many other excellent titles. The subsequent severance with parent publisher 2K took the creator away from the IP, much in the same way that this is threatening to do. Now, yes, 2K have talked about releasing more Bioshock titles since, but the last time they did that, we got Bioshock 2. And yeah, it's a decent game, but it's not at the top of anyone's list of favourite Bioshock games. The breakup of Konami and Kojima will be a sad one for games as a whole. Kojima will doubtless take his production team away now and begin development on something new. And Konami may bring us a sixth Metal Gear title, with or without Kojima involved. But for now, we have to accept that this may be the end. So rather than just feel down about it, let's remember the good times this collaboration brought us. Let's remember Outer Heaven, how the truck have started to move, giant eggs, stopping mid-combat to have a nice little chat on your codec, finding codec codes on the box art, Psycho Mantis reading your memory card saves, epic boss battles with Metal Gear, playing a snake, not playing a snake, being naked, whatever the hell's going on here.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw Space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock. I need scissors. 61.
eating snakes, doing science, unnecessary cleavage, that boss battle, avoiding that boss battle, being old, watching cutscenes. Going back to Shadow Moses, playing Ground Zeroes, immediately finishing Ground Zeroes, Ocelot, 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 and of course the cardboard box. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the Phantom Pain, for whatever else you've got up your sodding sleeves. Yep, sounds about right.